takes on Wales today in a massive pre-World Cup friendly. Carlos Queirash's first game as head coach and the first game since the final squad for the World Cup was announced. But despite just being a friendly, it is absolutely critical that Ghana gets the win in this match. Here's why. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel Oyibo Sports. Today at 6:45 p.m, whenever you're watching this, Ghana takes on Wales in what is going to be a crunch pre-World Cup friendly match, and certainly will tell us a lot about Carlos Queirash's team heading into the World Cup tournament. We know that this is likely going to be the last friendly match before the tournament. I think they are trying to schedule one other one before the commencement of the World Cup on the 11th of June. But if they can't, this is on record the only official friendly game that the Black Stars have left. And so there's a lot of pressure on both the coach of the team and the players in the teams themselves to really put their best foot forward and showcase what they have ahead of the start of the tournament, especially considering the group that Ghana are in with, remember, England, Panama, and then Croatia. There are a myriad of reasons beyond just pride why I think Ghana desperately needs to win this game, despite the fact that it is a friendly match. And so I'm going to take each one of them very quickly. It's not going to be an hour-long video, but I'll try and touch on the points as quickly as I can. The first reason I think Ghana needs this win more than a standard win in a friendly match. We know we always try and win, but I think winning this game is a lot more critical than probably any other team playing a friendly match before the World Cup. Is that if you look at the record, Ghana, the Black Stars, have not won a game since you qualified for the World Cup. That is 5 straight losses since October last year when we beat Comoros 1-0 in Accra to qualify for the tournament. That is an abysmal record. I actually went back, looked at each of the teams, each of the 48 teams playing in the World Cup, and this is the worst record. There are some teams that don't have a win in their last 5, 6, but this is the only national team heading into the tournament with 5 straight losses. That's red. And yes, understandably, we have experimented a lot during this period. Sensibly, unsensibly, smartly, unsmartly. I know maybe we should have been using this time to actually fine-tune the tactics, get a real squad balance before the tournament. But for whatever reason, the coach decided that he was going to bring in a lot of new players and test and chop and change. So then we saw the games against Japan and South Korea, new faces come in. The games against Austria and Germany, new faces come in. And then most recently, the game against Mexico, an entire overhaul of the squad. Doesn't really bode well for the team's confidence heading into the tournament. That is the second reason. So, sorry, a run of losses aside, it will certainly not be good for the team's confidence, right? Imagine you are heading into a tournament of this magnitude and you haven't won a game in 9 months. You have 5 straight losses. Yes, not all down to you, but I mean, it's still a very bad record to look at. And again, I mentioned that you juxtapose it with some of the other teams that are playing. Curacao, for example, Haiti, for example, teams that don't have any World Cup pedigree, any World Cup experience, arguably are ranked lower than us, arguably, not as good as us, and yet even they don't have the record that we have. So the team's confidence is really of paramount importance, especially if you are going to start on the best foot. We know football is actually more often than not a game of confidence, and so in reality, if we don't win this match, it will be 6 games without a win. Sorry, not even without a win, 6 games losing, 6-game loss heading into the tournament, unless we have one more, and that game also will be really critical. Now remember, we have played friendlies before World Cups and we have lost, but it's never been this bad. I remember the last World Cup we went to, people are dubbing that like one of the worst squads Ghana has ever had in a tournament, and even then we ended up beating was it Switzerland before the tournament. We played Brazil and then we played Switzerland. We lost to Brazil and then we beat Switzerland. So it's very good for the team confidence, and also it's essential to get a winning run ahead of the tournament. We know winning breeds winning, winning begets winning, and so if you are building a winning feeling within the squad, that is more likely to produce winning results in a tournament. If you are very used to losing and are consistently losing back to back games, I think it's obviously going to affect you in games where your backs are against the wall. You are comfortable losing, and I hope that Carlos Queiroz is trying to build a winning mentality in this side, and so it would be of tantamount importance that this team starts winning quickly, right? We know it's a new coach. We know it's a squad that has been ravaged with injuries. There are a lot of new faces in the team as well. It could be a positive spin for new faces to come. We know we have relied on some players in the past, and that has been essentially one of the reasons why Ghana has struggled a lot in recent years. So perhaps having new faces in, showing some new things or some new touches in the team will be important, but it's essential to have that winning run before the tournament. Speaking of the new teams and the new faces, this is going to be a very crucial game, not just in terms of winning, but in terms of Carlos Queiroz's tactics. Now, we've seen one game already where officially he was the coach, but he wasn't in the dugouts, and so we can't speak too much about the kind of tactics that Carlos Queiroz is most likely going to employ at this World Cup. But I think this is the first game, having worked with the team now for close to a week, I guess. It's going to be the first game where we will see his tactics or his hands or his fingerprints in the team, and so whether or not he plays with a back four or a back five, which midfielders are likely going to start at the World Cup, which attackers does he trust more, even in terms of the players, right? Which players look like they are going to have a good tournament versus a bad tournament, whether players like Semenyo are going to step up, whether players like Inaki Williams are going to step up, or whether the likes of Prince Edu Kwabena, Brandon Thomas Asante, and Esnuyama, those kind of players. Also looking at the injuries these players have suffered, and whether or not that has had an impact or will have an impact. I think this is probably a very good opportunity to put that to the test and get the win through those means. The final reason, and I think this is the one that I will probably spend the longest time on, is that Wales are not going to the World Cup. And I know that may not mean anything, but look at it very critically, right? This is a friendly game between two teams. Yes, Wales may be higher ranked than us. Wales may have the better squad quality. Even that is debatable, because I'm looking at the current Wales team man for man, and the likes of Brennan Johnson, the likes of Neco Williams, the likes of Harry Wilson. These are names we've heard before, but I won't necessarily call them like world beaters. Whereas in a team like ours, and then Esnuyama playing at the highest level in Lyon, Inaki Williams playing at the highest level in the La Liga, and of course the ace-uppers lead the trump card. Antoine Selom Semenyo, who is was arguably one of the best players in the league last season. In my opinion, should have won best player, certainly the best African player in Europe last season. So I think if you're looking at man for man, it's very comparable. And then you're looking at that X factor. I think without Kudus, it's a little bit closer, but with Semenyo, I think that pushes us ever so slightly over the edge. But despite that, they are not going to the World Cup. And so for them, Wales, this match is in fact a dead rubber match. It's way more important for Ghana. It's a critical match for the Ghana Black Stars to get a win, because it's essentially one of the games that will make or break our World Cup. We need to prove ourselves before the tournament. Players in the team need to prove themselves before the tournament. One of the big reasons why I'm not very happy that the squad was announced before this friendly game is that some players feel that they may not need to prove themselves. Their place is already secured, but their starting 11 is not yet secured. And so this game, players need to prove themselves. I need to see more desire. It makes more sense that there'll be more desire in the Black Stars. There'll be more quality, It will mean more to the Black Stars. They should be more serious. They should be more up for the fight. And so by logic, there's no way Wales should be more motivated for this clash than the Black Stars. They should take this easy, because it's just a friendly match. There's nothing at stake for them. Whereas for Ghana, there's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake. Pride, confidence, and justifying your place and justifying your selection. Again, the squad came out last night. Now we see the players. Now you justify your inclusion. Names like Baba Rahman, names like Derek Lucasen, people that have gotten a lot of flack, the likes of Jordan Ayew, who didn't have a very great club season. Names like Thomas Partey, who didn't have a very good club season. Semenyo, who has had a lot of criticism leveled at him for his performances for the Black Stars, injured players who have gotten a selection, and as Nyama Abdul Mumin, now is the chance to prove why you are on the list ahead of some of the other names that were left out, like the likes of Joseph Pinsel and Derek Koniti. Today, I'm expecting that these players will be playing for their starting place. And so if the match starts and Wales are playing better than us, looking more motivated, looking more up for the fights, and God forbid they end up getting a win in this match, that's when I know that Ghana, we are not ready for the World Cup. If Ghana do not win this match, I'm telling you that Ghana, we are not ready for the World Cup. Simple as that. So yeah, a lot at stake for the Ghana Black Stars in this match. If you ask me, I think we have more than enough tools at our disposal to get the win. I'm banking on the fact that Wales are not going to be, fully invested in the match or as invested in the game as much as Ghana are. I know they are playing on their home grounds, but again, like I mentioned, there's a lot more at stake for the Black Stars, and so I'm expecting and hoping for the Ghana win. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Are you banking on the Ghana victory in this one, or are you giving the edge to the Welsh national team? And what are your thoughts? What's your sentiments around the Black Stars heading into the tournament? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please consider smashing the like button, subscribing to the channel Oyibo Sports, hitting the bell icon most importantly so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos we have. Guys, it's World Cup season, and like I promised, we are hitting back to back to back to back. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I go see you for streets.